Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna merge together a couple of the things I've talked about in the past, and we are gonna go through some of the most detailed stuff in Counter-Strike, and it's one of the few things that make it a lot more fun of a game in the longer run because of this kind of deal. So yeah, we're gonna go through how to aim throughout the horizon, but also the importance of just stopping and actually aiming at positions where enemies could be at. And the reason for this is because of how gunfights are fought in Counter-Strike. The further away an enemy will be out from where you are originally aiming, the more time will pass, but also the less accurate you will be. However, in the opposite direction, obviously, the shorter you have to pull, the more accurate you will be. So, knowing this, but also knowing how frame rate works and how technology works and how that is the only way we can truly rely on our aim, we're gonna go through that right now. So let's start with assuming that we, for example, are a terrorist right here and we want to clear out this entire position right here, or this entire view rather, this entire horizon, in order to try and be able to get a hold on the A site. So what you initially want to do, obviously, is to start with the initial kind of line of sight, you know, the crack, the initial start. You want to aim where you can assume that the enemies might be at, whether or not they're stupid or smart, or maybe they're running from A to B. You never know, which is why you need to check all the times. You can also try and hear for listen for information or throw grenades, whatnot. That's completely up to you, to be honest. But anyways, you should always try and pre-aim exactly where enemies could be at, and then you just, you know, you move forward. So then when you move forward, obviously now you are breaking the line of sight on your right side right here in this position right here, which means that now, since then they can probably, if they're standing somewhere in this entire area, they can now see your left shoulder first. You can do two things. One, you can jiggle peek and try to bait out bullets. That way, even if you get hurt, you get information that the enemy is there. Regardless if they are there or not, you might either then be able to fake out a gunfight. You can use the information to know where the enemies might be located at, whether or not they're one or two. Anyways, if they're not doing anything, you should just try and pre-aim where, you know, all the places where the enemies could be at, which are quite a lot of places right here. They could be all the way far away down there, it's a second lane or the first lane. They can stand in between the trains, they can stand on the site itself. Some people like to stand approximately there, or close to the C connector right there. There's a lot of positions people might have taken. Even this one right here beneath the box, if they're very cheeky, but I've not seen anybody do that yet. So the entire point, though, is to, you know, try and minimize the damage that you either potentially take, or to at least get information. What you can do when you are here, obviously, is to either then camp down some enemies to see whether or not they want to move around in their field. I mean, after all, you have not really shown yourself any more than from this location, which then means that if you then are aiming at the more common spots in which enemies might move around at you, you got a better chance of killing them, which also is pretty, it's pretty useful and good in this sense as well. So just keep in mind that being super rash when you get a first peek on somebody, it cannot really be, or what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't really waste it, even if you maybe should, because if you have enough time on the clock left, in which we right here got plenty, in the end of the day, you might be able to easily kill somebody that don't expect you to suddenly have the first peek against them defending, in which suddenly the role of defender and attacker have been completely reversed, at least for that single gunfight. Which then, in the end of the day, means that you probably get the kill, and you now have one less enemy to deal with. Keep in mind that you can do this from every position. You can even do it if you decide to go rogue as a CT. Terrorists have to do this all the time, you know, everything from jiggle peeking a little bit with your shoulder, and then, you know, you move in again to get the information, all this kind of stuff. Also, it all requires practice. Me, for example, I'm not really good at pre-aiming around stuff on this map right here, but I know that there are certain lines of sights, and I will try and use them towards my advantage rather than the enemies, because of this kind of matter of fact. So the best thing you can do in this sense is to just play the maps more, and if you even want to get even better at pre-aiming stuff of this kind of nature, I thoroughly like, I urge you people to go into deathmatch and not only play Dust 2. Dust 2 can increase your overall aim, but pre-aiming around objects and stuff like this, you can only achieve it if you properly aim on maps of that nature. So yeah, go out there, look up some community servers with random maps, or just go and look out for regular random deathmatching maps and stuff like that, and you'll probably be set. And now you can kill enemies even faster, securing you maybe the rounds and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. If you people enjoy this video, you can support the channel on Patreon. There's a lot of ways of also how to support the video and, you know, the channel and stuff below. So anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play, people.